So today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just here to tell a scary story. Nope. We're going to take one apart, piece by piece, and really figure out the blueprint behind a viral horror story. This is all about deconstructing fear, seeing what makes it tick, what makes it so dang effective. Let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the wiring. The story we're analyzing kicks off with this line, right here. No intro, no hey guys, just a desperate warning. And that's not just a piece of dialogue, it's pretty much the first rule of modern online horror. You gotta grab your listener immediately and just not let go. The story's entire success really is built in these opening moments. It's not just about starting fast. It's about using a very specific combo of techniques to create this immediate, undeniable tension. Now, what's so smart about this is how the story just completely bypasses all the boring setup. By starting in media res, we meet our narrator while they're already hiding. The stakes are instantly life or death. You hear the dragging, the heavy breathing, the door shaking. It creates this sensory overload. And then that direct warning, it makes you, the listener, feel like you're the one being told to run. It's just an incredibly efficient way to demand someone's attention. Okay, so once you're hooked, the story has to build a world that actually justifies that fear. In really good horror, the setting is never just a backdrop, right? It's an active accomplice in all the terror that's about to unfold. I mean, just look at this checklist. The story is systematically removing every single layer of safety. A remote gas station is a classic for a reason, but then it just keeps layering it on. Dense woods, miles from anywhere, and of course, bad phone signal. Every possible escape route or way to call for help is deliberately cut off before the real horror even starts. And now we get to the core engine of the story. This is what elevates a simple night shift into this dangerous, terrifying ritual. It all comes down to a set of strange, completely inexplicable rules. You see, the crucial thing to get here is that rules imply there's a hidden logic to the world. It suggests that danger isn't just random chaos. It's a system. It's an intelligence with a purpose. It completely transforms a normal, boring gas station into a place governed by this threatening, alien logic that you have to figure out if you want to survive. And notice how specific these are. Don't open the door is kind of vague, but if the phone rings 3 times and then stops, or if you see a man in a red raincoat at pump 3, these are precise instructions for very particular events. They basically act as perfect foreshadowing, creating a whole menu of things the audience is now going to be anxiously waiting to happen. And this part is so important. The protagonist's skepticism, that's our skepticism. We're sitting here thinking, yeah, right, this is some dumb prank. And so are they. This makes us connect with them, which means when these rules are eventually terrifyingly proven to be real, it hits so much harder. When their disbelief shatters, so does ours. The best horror doesn't just throw everything at you at once. It's a slow burn. And this story uses a really brilliant, simple tool to control that burn: timestamps. What we're looking at here is basically a countdown to terror. Each time-stamped event lines up perfectly with one of the rules we just saw. It makes the threat feel methodical, patient, and completely unavoidable. The night isn't just passing, it's marching towards a predetermined, horrifying appointment. And the choice of 3:33 a.m. for the climax, well, that is no accident. It's a narrative shortcut. The writer is tapping into a well-known cultural trope, the witching hour, to inject a huge dose of dread without having to do any extra work. The audience already connects this time with something wrong. Okay, so all of this, the hook, the isolation, those creepy rules, the pacing, it has all been meticulously designed to lead to one single, catastrophic moment of decision. And there it is, the fatal mistake. After everything they've seen, the protagonist clings to rational thought, and that's what dooms them. In a world that runs on supernatural rules, trying to be logical is the most dangerous thing you can possibly do. By ignoring that critical 4th rule, they basically just unlocked the door and invited the horror inside. This is the moment the story just completely shatters reality. The threat isn't just a physical monster, it's a living paradox. It can be in 2 places at once. That breaks the laws of physics and makes this thing terrifying on a deep psychological level. I mean, how do you fight something that doesn't have to follow the rules of reality? Now, to capture that feeling of pure panic, the story does something really clever. It doesn't give us a clear, long look at the creature. Instead, it just hits us with these quick, disorienting flashes of what is fundamentally wrong with it. It starts simple, wrong proportions, and our brains immediately fill in the blanks. It looks human, but it's built incorrectly, and that is just deeply, deeply unsettling. Then, the smile. It takes this familiar human expression and just stretches it, distorts it, turns it into something predatory. And finally, a detail that breaks the physical limits of a human body. These uncanny valley descriptions, the wrong proportions, that wide smile, the impossible tilt of the head, they are so much more frightening than claws or fangs, because they take something we recognize as human and just corrupt it. But the story isn't over when the protagonist escapes. Oh no, a powerful ending doesn't just wrap things up, it haunts you. It forces you to reevaluate everything you just heard. And here's the final twist. After quitting the job, our protagonist finds an old news article online. A gas station employee went missing from that exact same job 3 years ago to the day. So, what does this actually tell us? It tells us this wasn't a random attack. Our protagonist didn't just survive a monster. They narrowly escaped becoming the next victim in a repeating, supernatural cycle. That horror is a permanent part of that place. And that final line, it's just this devastating understatement that seals the whole deal. It completely redefines the entire event. He wasn't a customer. He wasn't even just a man. He was, and still is, a predator, just waiting for the next night shift. And that's the thought that lingers, long after the story is over.